This coverage of the British Historic Rally Championship is brought to you by Autosessive.com, Skipton Ford, the Tuthill Porsche Challenge, Sherwood Engines, XS Racing and West Wales Rally Spares. Hello and welcome to Kielder Water for round 3 of the Dunlop Wanna Go MSA British Historic Rally Championship, the Pirelli Historic Rally. As ever on gravel events, first away with the Category 1 cars, with the repaired Cortina of Simon Wallace and Graham Ride having the dubious honour of being first on the road. And just behind them were Desi Nutt and Jolene McBride. And the fact that being first on the road was a dubious honour was immediately apparent as Wallace and Ride were only 4th fastest on each of the first 3 stages, which was not what was expected. And Nutt and McBride weren't much better either, being 3rd, 5th and 6th quickest. Driving with a lot of confidence though, as ever, was Graham Waite, and why not? He and Jill Cotton had won the event in 2010, and this meant that he knew that at the wheel of the Volvo he had the speed to win again. And the crew was duly in the lead at the halfway halt. But the lead was a tiny one, only 1.1 seconds over Ricky Profit and John Stanger Leeds. Leading the registered Category 3 runners away were Nick Elliott and Chris Brooks. And as ever, this duo were quick right from the start.
Into left 3, and right 3, and over bridge, into turn left 1. Ooh. To turn left 1, 60, crest 40, right 1 plus long, right 1 plus long, 40 left 3 long, and right 3, 40, turn right 1. Right 1, turn right 1.
Elliott's times were good here, but where he and Brooks had dominated the Bulldog, it was Reynolds and Oakey's turn to dominate the Pirelli.
Brake, 5 right plus long, in. 130. Care, 5 right tightens over crest, 40. 3 left, into crest, 130. Brake, crest into very...
Well, just as we saw on the Mid-Wales stages, give Reynolds an ultra-fast section and he just seems a little bit quicker than anybody else. And after 3 stages, Reynolds would hold a 17-second lead over Elliott.
And Care 5 left. Into 2 left. Into 4 left long over crest. Into tight 3 right. 60. 4 right. Rightish over crest.
Into 3rd position at this point were Williams and Dave Williams, the 2010 Category 3 winners, looking right on the pace again, sharing 2nd fastest time with Elliott on the first stage before dropping back a bit on stages 2 and 3.
Yeah, it is slippy, it's hard to read, but you've got to relax and just let the thing go, and we'll see how we get on.
And Tim Pearcey was on the pace again. Another coming back to the scene of his big 2010 accident, he may well have been excused for taking it a bit easily at the start, but not a bit of it. He and Neil Shanks were 4th fastest on stages 1 and 2, and a superb 2nd fastest on stage 3. First stage in here since what happened last year, did you go in with any trepidation?
Yeah, a bit in the back of my mind, to be honest with you.
You got through okay?
Over the crests.
Yes. Pearcey and Alan Walker have spent the first 2 rallies of the season separated by mere seconds on the stages, and this event wasn't that different, to be fair, although here it was Pearcey who was holding the upper hand from the start. Walker had his problems though.
We had a stop and reverse at a chicane as well that I overshot. So.
And behind Walker at this point were Mark Barnett and Phil Clark. Barnett showing good form behind the wheel this season. In Category 2, there was a bit of pre-event drama for Stefan Stoop and Joris Arad, when it appeared that they might be prevented from scoring points on future BHRC events because of a licensing anomaly, but they weren't going to let that affect their performance on this event, and they were quickest on the first stage. Are you motivated for today?
No. Just hurt my hand a little bit on the last hairpin.
Oh really? What? Okay. But leading the category after the first few stages were Rupert Lomax and Phil Harrison, the pair taking the fastest times on stages 2 and 3, but Lomax wasn't taking anything for granted.
Long way to go yet.
And after good victories on the opening 2 rounds, Stokes and Weaver were really having to push hard just to keep up with Stoof and Lomax here.
Tightens over small crest, so it's 5 left tightens over small crest. it's 5 left. Push 2 left over junction. Stay 4 left long over small crest. Into 3 right. 60. 4 right. So it's 3 right here. 60.
So how did Stokes feel it was going so far?
I think it's reasonable. Rupert didn't catch me, so it must be all right.
Next along were Pete Smith and Russ Langthorne. This was a truly gutsy performance after their 200-foot drop off the side of a hill on the Bulldog Rally. Leading C3 at this point were Andrew Siddle and Carl Williamson. The new for 2011 pairing starting to work well together now, although their event wasn't without its moments.
Nice. 5 right long, 600 straight.
This late spring afternoon was providing us with some fantastic, if dusty, rallying, and quite a number of spectators have found their way into Shepherd's Shield to relax in the sunshine and watch the rallying. And what they saw from Julian Reynolds through here was Reynolds at his sensational best.
100. 2 right. 80. 2 left. And 1 right continues for 150. Left over crest into 2 right. 60, 2 left. 100, brake to fast, 5 right. 60. Brake, crest, 40, tight 4 left, care. Into 3 right. And 2 left long. Into tight 3 left, tightens, brake. Into 4 left, tightens. And right over crest. 130. Tight 2 left, opens, 100. Short tight 2 right, 100. Very tight 3 left long, brake.
Over a 5-mile stage, Reynolds was 10 seconds quicker than anybody else, and nobody could match that, even Elliott, who was actually only 5th fastest. Next up were Onions and Williams. Will once again showing how much he loves these fast stages. But back to the Category 2 battle now, and it was Stu Finaro down a charge, with the 2nd fastest overall time, allowing them to pull back 6 seconds on Lomax. But Stokes had split them, and was still having to drive just as hard as he could. In Category 1, Shepherd's Shield all but decided the result of the rally as Graham Waite manhandled his recalcitrant Volvo around the stage, still lacking 3rd gear, don't forget, to set an unlikely fastest time. And at the same time, Ricky Profit picked up 10 seconds of road penalties and then spun on the stage, dropping another 24 seconds to Waite and Cotton. But Profit is a much more confident driver now, and he blitzed Pundershaw and Churdenhead, taking 19 seconds back from the Volvo crew. But it just wouldn't be enough. And Simon Wallace certainly found his confidence and his form over the final 3 stages, being less than 2 seconds down on Waite over 25 minutes of rallying. And the only man to match Waite for flamboyancy in the BHLC, Dave Brennan, almost matched his times as well as the event progressed, with the time on the final stage just 0.1 of a second slower than Waite, and he and Bob Duck would be rewarded with 4th place. But it was Waite and Cotton who took victory in Category 1 here for the 2nd year running, and we spoke to Graham at the end.
Well, it was okay this morning, but this afternoon was frantic because having lost 3rd gear before lunch, it's been really hard work this afternoon trying to keep the car on the boil because it's 2nd to 4th and there's so many places where 3rd gear is needed.
In Category 2, the rally was building up to a superb climax, with Lomax dropping 8 seconds to Stoof on the first 2 stages after lunch, leaving him with just a 3-second advantage heading into the final stage. But then, just when it couldn't get any more exciting, Lomax's gearbox failed, and he was out. This meant that David Stokes and Guy Weaver could move back into 2nd place, and Stokes was still pushing right until the very end.
Let's jump, 60, red, 2 right tightens, crest jump red, 2 right tightens into 5 right long. 2 right tightens into 5 right long. Tightens, tightens, it really tightens up. Tightens up. 60. 5 left long tightens. 40, middle over bridge. Into Paul tight 6 left. Tight 6 left. And push 5 right opens. 250.
Then came Peter Smith and Russ Langthorne after a great performance following their character building but car destroying Bulldog accident. Chris Brown and Liz Jordan had another fairly quiet rally but still picked up a useful haul of points after a consistent and reliable run to finish 4th. While Andrew Siddle and Carl Williamson were 5th and won Class C3 with fastest times on all but one of the stages. Rounding off the top 6 were Dick Slaughter and Jeff Deering, with Dick being as sideways as ever and completely covering this family in dust and stones. I'm puzzled as to why they didn't just move back a bit from the edge of the stage, to be honest. But it was Stefan Stoof and Joris Urad who took the category victory after a superb and faultless drive.
Very good, very good result for us by beating David. So it was a bit our aim to do that. So it has been very good, and we're very happy with the result.
So far on this rally, Elliott hadn't set a fastest stage time. Not surprising, I suppose, when you think about what happened last year, but still a bit of a shock. But after his blistering time through Shepherd's Shield, Reynolds now had a 21 seconds lead over Elliott with only 2 stages to go, and he wasn't easing up.
Opens into 1 right, continues for 200. $170. Brake, turn square left. What's up?
Don't know.
40. Big cut out, did it? Pull over to the right if.
And sadly, that was that. Reynolds was out, and Elliott was into the lead. So this allowed Will Onions and Dave Williams into second place, which they consolidated with fastest times on the final 2 stages. Having won the event in 2010, Will is obviously comfortable in Kielder, and it shows. The battle for 3rd and 4th was as close as ever between Alan Walker and Tim Pearcey, but Mark Barnett was now going faster than both of them, setting 2nd fastest time on Pundershaw. But on Churdenhead it all changed, when Pearcey got a puncture and Walker slid off the road and into a ditch. This meant that Pearcey dropped to 4th, behind the unregistered Steve Bannister. Barnett moved up to 5th, and Walker dropped to last. Steve Magson was next along, taking Class D4 in the process. Nick Woodman and Simon Mills were 7th, continuing their season's good form. Simon and Alistair Crook were 8th for their highest results since their return to the sport. Roger Kilty and Lynette Banks were 9th for their first result of the season. And in 10th were James Slaughter and Phil Peake, with James getting the upper hand over Dad Dick for the first time. So despite not setting one single fastest time on the event, and I bet that doesn't happen very often, Elliott and Brooks were the winners of the 2011 Pirelli Historic Rally.
We're pleased to be here, in one piece, ready to do the next event, and the bonus is, the car's good and no damage, and big improvement on last year, so the first place is a bonus, but the main thing is we're here ready to go again.
This coverage of the British Historic Rally Championship is brought to you by Autosessive.com, Skipton Ford, the Tuthill Porsche Challenge, Sherwood Engines, XS Racing and West Wales Rally Spares.